Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry for the lack of videos, but I am back. I've moved, obviously, as you can see from the background. It's completely changed. If you guys are observant, I actually ended up getting brand new computer parts. I recorded a video right after I moved for the Rose recruitment pool that a lot of players are seeing now. But the data got corrupted. My hard drive died. My computer basically bricked. So I bought mostly all brand new computer parts. Got it all set up and running. So I'm back, and stay tuned for more videos. Today, I want to be talking about the best Season 1 heroes and the tier list, similar to what I had done for the basic orange heroes. I'll be talking about the heroes individually, but I also have a tier list, obviously, that you can see. That kind of just goes over the heroes in kind of a simpler manner. So if you don't really care about the explanations to why I've rated these, you're basically done with the video. However, I will be talking about the rankings, and some people will disagree with me. Probably a lot of people will disagree with the rankings that I have. Season 1's a little bit interesting, and so let's just get right into it. So Season 1 is obviously the first season heroes that the developers released. They actually ended up releasing 9 heroes, which is quite a lot of heroes at one time. Season X basically just broke those rules. There's like 18 Season X heroes, and there will be 20 and probably more and more. But anyway, 9 heroes is quite a lot. It's more than Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4. And they kind of split these heroes up into 3 different groupings. So there's kind of the S1 plus is what I'm going to refer to them, S1R, and then S1S is kind of what I've seen on some other documentation. So the S1 plus heroes, coincidentally, are all 3 of the S tier heroes. So it is the Professional, Bart the Professional, War Boss Chuck, and then the Dragon's Rage Danny. So these are all S1 plus heroes, and they're all ranked S. These are all very good heroes for Season 1. The Professional is the shooter version, War Boss is the vehicle version, and Dragon's Rage is the fighter version, but they do very similar things. All 3 of these heroes are going to be put in the back line, so in the 3rd row, which is a great advantage, especially for Season 1. The rest of the Season 1 heroes are more suited for the front row or the middle row, but more so the front row. With that said, the main difference between kind of these S1 plus and the other heroes is their 7th ability. So their 7th ability is actually an active skill. Normally everyone's 7th ability is basically just plus might or plus resistance, a percentage of plus might or plus resistance. These heroes have it a little bit differently. So as you can see, it's an active skill. So this one's just called Distance Strike, but they all basically do the same thing. You activate it, and then for 20 minutes, you have plus 100% marching speed and plus 100% shooter might. Now, this does have a 15-hour cooldown, so it's a long cooldown, so you really have to use it when you need it. But even when it's not activated, you still have a 30% effect in battle, meaning if it's on cooldown, you'll still have plus 30 might. Got jumbled up in there. So that's kind of the 7th ability, and this is honestly the main reason why these are ranked S tier. So their other abilities are basically they do good damage and they have some CC, and just all around solid damage. Every one of these Season 1 heroes gives plus 50 resistance and plus 50 might, and then these heroes get plus 15 might and resistance. So just keep that in mind. As I will be addressing that a little bit later for the S1R heroes. So with that said, the 7th ability is very, very powerful, and it's even strong in Season X. So even if you're a maxed base, these heroes are still good to have for their 7th ability alone. So in Eden and in Doomsday, if you're going for a tile, if you're trying to occupy a tile, you cannot use speed ups. You can't use marching speed ups. So you're basically tied down, you're bottlenecked by the marching time. There are ways to increase your marching speed, so you can do it through specialty points, or you can do it through APC skins, sorry about that. An APC skin, there are specialty points, and I think that's really the only ways you can do it. Or obviously you can, teleport closer to the target. It's going to decrease your marching speed. However, these heroes can also increase your marching speed. And like I said, that is the biggest bottleneck in Eden and Tile Wars. So all of these heroes are ranked S. They're used in Season X, Season 2, 3, 4. So they're very good. They're not good for fighting bases, though. Once you're in those seasons, obviously. They're still okay. They're still decent. These three are still decent. These three S tier heroes are still decent at fighting, but obviously they get outshined by some of the later seasons. So then moving down a tier, I decided not to put any heroes in the A tier. I feel like there's such a big gap between these top 3 heroes, these S1 plus heroes, and all of the rest of the heroes. I was even thinking about putting these in the C and D tier, so just shifting them down one, but I decided to just put them in the B and C tier. Because the D tier is basically relegated to heroes like Warhound, for example, or Commissar. Spoilers. But anyway, so moving down one, we have kind of 2 heroes. So we have the Cincinnatus, who's a shooter hero. He's kind of a support shooter hero. Most of his abilities are basically support abilities. He does do okay damage, and he does. Most of these heroes have this sort of weird effect. These S1S heroes have this effect where basically if you have 3 shooters, you'll get plus increased combat skill damage. So that's very good, actually. 60% is quite a lot, especially in Season 1. So you certainly want to use all shooter heroes if you're going to be using the Season 1 heroes. Or vehicles. All 3 vehicles or all 3 fighters, obviously. And the other hero is Light of the Past. So again, very similar. They're not going to do a ton of damage. They do okay damage, but it's quite low when considering some of the other heroes. But like I had said, this 60% is pretty good. It's only for the first 4 rounds, but it's for 2 squads, so it's quite good. These heroes also give plus 40 might, kind of as their 7th ability. So that's fine. But the main difference between these 2 B heroes is that these guys both have plus 15 HP. So HP, like I had said in the basic orange heroes, and I've said it in a couple other videos, is the best defensive stat in the game. It's better than resistance, and it's better than tactical resistance. And I believe those are really the only 2 defensive stats, besides troop types. HP is by far the best. By far. That's why they haven't released skins with plus HP. Like base skins with plus HP. It's very, very strong. So they have to tune it very, very slightly. Anyway, with that said, the fact that these guys have these plus HP bonuses makes them a step above the rest. So there's another S1S hero, and it's the Flash. But the Flash has plus 100 vehicle speed, which is good. Plus 100 vehicle speed is very good, but it's not enough. War Boss also has plus 100 vehicle speed. If this was HP, I would also put him in the B tier. Like I had said before, they're not going to do too much damage. They do okay damage. This combat skill thing is kind of the better thing, but they're not great by any means. I wouldn't recommend strongly going for these heroes. The only ones I would recommend going for, if you're going to go for it, are the S rank heroes. I probably should have put them down a tier like I was mentioning earlier. But again, I wanted to conserve the D tier for really, really bad heroes who you just shouldn't use. And then so going one kind of tier lower, we have the Flash, we have Courageous. Whoops, that's not Courageous. We have the Courageous, we have the Falcon, and then we have the Janissary. So those 3, the 3 on the end, the Courageous, Falcon, and Janissary, are kind of S1R heroes. Some people call them Ramadan heroes. I've seen, actually in the last live stream I've done with Huddy, Someone was referring to them as Ramadan heroes. Not really sure, but I'll just call them S1R heroes. So these S1R heroes are all basically, again, the same. There's one for fighters, one for shooters, and one for vehicles, and they do very similar things. The kind of interesting thing about these heroes, though, is that they actually give you plus 20 might and resistance in their 6th ability, which is a little bit strange. Obviously, plus 20 speed is much lower than the plus 100. So these heroes are kind of odd. But they have the same sort of effect that the S1S heroes have, except instead of it starting at the first round, it starts at the 5th round. So it's, instead of it being like, at the very beginning, it's at the very end. And again, it lasts for 4 turns. Similarly, these heroes will do okay damage. One of the main things that they do is they kind of have a counter attack. So all troop types, it's basically a rock, paper, scissors. Shooters counter vehicles, vehicles counter fighters, and fighters counter shooters. So it's basically a rock, paper, scissors scenario. These heroes kind of just add to that, which is a little bit interesting. So, for example, the Courageous is a fighter hero. So already he counters shooters, but this ability basically doubles the shooter counter. A little bit interesting, kind of useless, but it is what it is. And then these heroes have plus 40 might, just like the S1S heroes. Again, the Falcon, very, very similar. Plus 20 vehicle speed, plus 20 might and resistance, plus 40 might, and then the same ability, and then just some kind of damage things, and then, like I had said, that type countering ability. And then Janissary, basically the exact same thing. Plus 20, plus 20, plus 40, same ability here. I don't know if I had mentioned it before, but the S1 plus heroes actually have plus 30 might, technically, if you're not using the active skill. So like I had said before, you basically use this active skill. It's going to last for 20 minutes. You get plus 100 marching speed and plus 100 might. There's a 15-hour cooldown, but while it's on cooldown, you'll still get plus 30% instead of the plus 100. So it's okay. It's 10 less because all the other heroes are basically plus 40 might or resistance. But it doesn't really matter because the main purpose of these heroes is when their skills are active. Also, these guys have plus 15 might and resistance. He has plus 15 damage. Plus 15 is lower than the S1R heroes, but it's the exact same as the S1S heroes. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but this is kind of why I've ranked these heroes this way. Like I had said, some of you guys might disagree with this, but coming from a older player in Season X and still using some of these S1 Plus heroes, I can firmly say that this is kind of what I stand by. Like I said, in my opinion, you'll probably want to save your tickets. If you haven't gone through Season 1 yet, save your tickets. Don't spend them on Season 1. Save them and spend them on Season 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. You'll understand more kind of which heroes you should go for in the next videos coming up soon. So stay tuned. But normally I would just say skip these heroes. And if you need these other heroes, the S1 Plus heroes, you can always get them in the token shop, which isn't a bad idea. If you can get two copies and you just get their 7th skill, you don't really care about the 6th or 8th. So it's definitely something you can think about doing. So anyway, that's it for the S1 heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, sorry for the delay in videos, but I'm all set up, all ready to go. And yeah, I'll be continuing the series for seasons 2, 3, 4, 5, or season X. And then just coming out with a lot more content for you guys. So if you ever have any questions, please just leave a comment. I try to answer literally everybody. And we have a lot of very helpful folks, in the community, who are also very smart. So just feel free to ask. Anyway, guys, that's it. Stay safe, have fun, good luck in Last Shelter. If you guys are pulling your heroes, good luck. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't get the Rose video out, the Rose recruitment pool, but I will be doing the Tech Priestess one almost immediately. right as that's released, I'll try to post that video as soon as possible. So save your tickets, wait for that video, and then we'll see what to do from there. So I'm excited. Doomsday's almost ending, guys. For some of the older states, I might be posting a video on migrations. I'm planning to migrate away from my state, and I'd like to see if you guys are interested. In I guess either joining me or my state or whatever. So we'll see all of that. Anyway, I gotta tune out. Catch you guys later. Peace.